Okay, this is Kelly from Heels, Deals, and Wheels Mobile Home Investing Course. Today, we have a very special guest. First of all, I'd like to thank you for coming on my YouTube channel. This is Melinda Gonzalez. She is one of my students, and now she can call herself a mobile home investor. How are you doing today, Melinda?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Kelly. Yes, I can officially say that I'm a mobile home investor.
Okay. And so, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go into the deal, how you finalize that deal?
Yeah, I'm currently 9 to 5, have a 9 to 5, and I started looking into um, real estate investments, and I have an Airbnb that I already invested in. It's doing well. I was going to start wholesaling single family homes, but then I learned about the mobile home investment, and that piqued my interest even more so. And then I stumbled across your program.
Okay. Okay. And so you actually purchased my program pretty early when I got started, but you just recently closed the deal. Can you explain why that is?
Well, personally, it was me. I was going through that whole analysis paralysis. I was allowing everything to get in my way. When I did initially purchase it, I looked at it and I love the fact that you were in Texas and I was in Texas and read about the program and researched it a little bit actually.
Okay.
And it definitely piqued my interest and that's why I decided to purchase it.
Oh, okay. All right. And so, can you explain to us exactly what happened in this deal that you recently closed? Because you actually closed a deal with another student of mine who I've done business with in the past, and her name is Tay, or sometimes she goes by Rose. So, can you explain to us what happened with that particular deal?
Absolutely. The thanks actually goes to you because you actually made that connection. She was looking for someone that she needed some translation assistance, and you gave her my name. And I was initially just thinking that it was going to be over the phone, translating over the phone. And she explained that she has been losing a lot of deals simply because she didn't speak Spanish. So I made the initial phone call for her, and it turned out to be that she needed more than just a translation over the phone. And we ended up meeting the seller in person and the buyers as well. I was there to show the home and then to finalize the deal. So because it was taking so much more work, she was nice enough to allow me to JV with her in this particular deal.
Okay. And we talked a little bit offline. You told me your return on your investment was how much on that particular deal?
I would say 100% because I didn't invest anything, but the time that it took to talk to the seller and the buyers. So
Okay.
I didn't put any money in other than spending the time talking to the sellers and the buyers.
Okay. And I have used you at least twice, I believe, Melinda. I hired you twice to do some translation for me. And so I was thinking, okay, I'm not sure if Melinda is going to actually do the mobile home investing or she's just going to actually translate. And then I saw you posting a couple of ads. I see you posting a couple of ads or asking a couple of questions about, I think it was a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
And then I said, okay, look like Melinda gonna do something, and then voila, look what happened. I mean,
Uh,
I'm really excited about the whole process. So Melinda, since you do like Airbnb, would you say mobile homes is a little easier than the Airbnb side of it?
um, I would say they're pretty comparable, but in a different way. But they're pretty simple. This wholesale deal that I just went through, it was like extremely a lot easier than what I thought it was.
Okay.
And that was my whole analysis paralysis, delaying my taking action. So, um, I that was definitely all on me. I can't put that on anyone else because your program is very simple and you explain every detail where it's understandable. And I just love it. I just hate that I waited so long to get started.
Okay. And I appreciate the compliment. So, where do you see yourself from this point on, since you see how easy it is? I mean, it's easier than buying a car if you ask me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself
Absolutely.
from this point forward with the mobile home business?
I definitely want to master wholesaling, and then maybe eventually flipping or buying and holding. And so, unless things change differently, but the wholesaling process, maybe this was just a great experience for me because I had Rose as, guiding the whole
Right.
situation
Right.
and the whole process. And but I also had a lot of questions as well, and those questions came from because I had seen things in your training program.
Okay. All right. And so, like I said, a couple of times you asked me a couple of questions about, I think, like a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, but you didn't pursue those. What actually happened with those? Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
On the 3 bedroom, 2 bath, I wasn't quite ready to go that far out. And then now that I know a little bit more and have a little bit more exposure, that shouldn't have been something that held me back. But honestly, Kelly, it's just the fear that I was putting in front of myself. And I would encourage everyone to find that breakthrough immediately and get over that. And so they can get started even quicker.
Right, right. Yeah, because I was a little fearful myself, and the reason why I did do my first deal is because my tenants that I found, they were a lot younger than me, and I'm like, oh, they don't know anything, you know. I'm thinking I know more than them, but I was still nervous. But you have to get over that fear,
Yeah,
and after that, it's just like riding a horse. Wouldn't you agree?
absolutely.
Okay,
Oh, absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. So, yeah, if I had anything to share with anyone, is just get started immediately. And there's always a lot of people to help you. And there's going to be one or two that won't, but there's going to be 10 that will.
Exactly, exactly. Okay. And so what's next on the agenda for you? Do you have anything else going on right now as far as mobile homes?
Not at the moment. I kind of sort of started backwards, I think,
Okay.
because I haven't gotten my signs to put out bandit signs. I do want to go with the bandit signs. I'm not feeling the whole ghost posting, as they call it,
Right.
or ghost ads. But I think I'm going to do some, and then building relationships with the park managers and maybe even driving for dollars and out of the parks.
Okay. And so had you had any interactions with any of the park managers or
Not the park managers, but I will tell you that I went out to a couple of parks and I ran into the gentleman that maintains the property, and I asked him if he by any chance was the owner of the park, and he said he started laughing. He goes, "No," he goes, "I just help maintain the property." And
okay.
I said, "Oh, well, you may know." Can tell me a little bit about some of this park. I asked him about the program manager. He gave me her name, and he said she was really nice to contact her. And then, lo and behold, he called me several weeks later and to let me know that there is a mobile home for sale at his park.
Look at that. Look at that. And look, and you know what, Melinda, I try to tell people once you do your first deal and you start building relationships in that park, whether it be with the homeowner or whether it be with the mobile park manager or like the maintenance guy. I mean, after that, it gets to a point where you don't even have to drive for dollars anymore looking for a mobile home because they just kind of land in your lap.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I would say that. And I thought, well, let me ask him. And I kind of knew that he wasn't the park owner, but I just asked him that because just to make that connection with him.
right.
And then it turns out that the park owners have two other parks. So you never know
Wow.
what's going to come out of making that connection with people. So I would just say, just give it a shot.
Right. You know what, Melinda? One of the parks me and my brother do business in, the park manager loved us to death. She gave me deal after deal after deal, and she was only making $18 an hour. and she just called me last week, and now she is the district manager of all the sister parks, and she has given me so
Oh,
many
wow.
homes. She's have given me so many homes. And I'm like, I don't know where I'm gonna get all this money from, but I'm gonna figure it out. But that's what I try to tell people. If you get out there and start talking to people, you just never know. You just never know what connections people might have. Well, my brother actually, one of our lawn guys, he's only 14 years old. He actually gave us a deal.
Wow.
He actually gave us a deal. And matter of fact, he translated for us and all this good stuff. And we had five or six people to try to apply for the park. We took the earnest money. They never could get approved. We collected the earnest money, and the tenants wound up selling their own mobile home. We didn't even have to sell it. But this little boy has
Oh,
been
wow.
giving us leads as well. So I mean, once you start, the sky is the limit. The sky is really the limit.
Yep.
So, Melinda, do you have any like words of encouragement? I know you were talking about the analysis paralysis, but do you have any words of encouragement for somebody trying to get into this business?
Um, Honestly, Kelly, I was doing the whole YouTube university at the beginning, and
Okay.
I found myself that was a lot of not wasted time, but it was very time consuming. And when I ran across your program, it just immediately made me want to go ahead and purchase it. It's definitely affordable,
Okay.
and I love the fact that you're in Texas, and every time that I ask you a question, you immediately respond, and
Okay.
that's what I love about it. I'm pretty much self-motivated,
Okay.
and so I just love that part of it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. So, if somebody were to try to reach out to you, maybe, to talk to you more about the mobile home business or talk to you about a mobile home you have for sale, do you have a contact information you want to share, or talk to you about Airbnb? Do you have a contact information you want to share?
Absolutely. I don't have my business number ready yet, but
Okay.
that's what I'm currently working on.
Uh,
So they can reach out to me at 214-536-1205. That's my cell. I may just turn that one into my business number, but they're welcome to give me a call there. Questions about the Airbnb, absolutely. Please do give me a call. I've already had my Airbnb for going on 4 years,
Okay.
and it's been doing very, very well. I've learned a lot through it, and it's all been for the better.
Okay.
And I'm just enjoying the ride.
Okay. All right. And so, do you have any closing statements that you would like to share?
No, just get started. Quit delaying the inevitable, because you're missing out on the deals that are out there. Honestly, if had I hit the ground running, when I first got the program, I probably would have had more deals by now.
Okay.
But I'm a big believer of timing is everything, and there's no better than to starting now.
Right. And so, what about the pandemic? Where do you see the pandemic in mobile home investing?
I don't think that's gonna hold it back at all. I mean, um, there's not a whole you can always work your way around that, and you can always serve the seller or serve the buyer, um, however you need to. There's definitely an easy way around it. There's an easy fix for it, and it's definitely not going to be deterred by any means.
Okay, okay. And I totally agree with you. I think this pandemic, people have realized you got to start living within your means. And Melinda, I'm a registered nurse. I still work. And I drive a car out here in California with roll up windows. Everybody laughed at me. It was a 2016. Now, I totally paid for that straight out. I think I paid $12,000. Roll up windows. People laughed at me. And that pandemic hit. And these people who driving these Range Rovers and all this kind of stuff, these nurses, they were scrambling because believe it or
Yeah,
not, at the beginning of this pandemic, the nurses weren't even working because people were afraid to come to the hospitals. So
yeah.
I think people are now figuring out you got to live within your means. You have to do that because, buying these $1 million homes and stuff, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. So, Melinda, unless you have
And I
something.
agree.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I totally agree with that because I'm a big believer of being debt free. I've worked really hard about getting there,
Okay.
and I actually have the capital to go out and buy several mobile homes, but I want it to work as if I didn't. And one of my deals that on my plan is that I wanted to do a wholesale deal without putting in any money. The only thing that I put in was gas in my car to go to the locations and then show the home. That's
Okay.
it. That's all that I did.
Right.
And I want it to work as if I didn't have any money. So for those that don't have the capital, I will tell you that you can certainly do that as well. If you want a JV with someone, I'm even open to JVing with people as well
Okay.
to help you get started. So I want to help those that are even more fearful than I was, and maybe I can encourage someone to get started even sooner.
Okay, okay. Well, Melinda, I appreciate you coming on my YouTube channel. And could you give your phone number out one more time before we close out? And I mean, I really thank you, and I'm so happy that you got that deal done. I wasn't surprised, but
Absolutely.
I'm thinking, please.
I really,
I said, please, Melinda, please. I see you on Facebook posting stuff. I said, I know something's got to be coming, but I didn't realize that you were working with Rose. So that's a
yeah,
good thing, and I was glad I was able to connect you guys. So what's a good number? What's that number again that they can reach you at?
that number again that they can reach me at is 214-536-1205. And my name is Melinda Gonzalez.
All right, thank you so much, Melinda.